Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Global
Global Digital
Digital
Success
Success
Talks.
Talks. So today we have a special topic. It's how to stay motivated as an entrepreneur even on tough days. But before we dive into our topic, let's introduce ourselves. Hi everyone. My name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but according to reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isabel. I'm originally from Mexico, but I live in North Carolina, USA. I'm a mom, a wife, a grandmother, a proud digital business owner, and mentor.
And thank you everyone again. We also want to remind you that every Tuesday and every Thursday we have our live webinar. So if you want to learn how you can start your online business and start earning online, you can register in any of the websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. So when you register into our webinar, you will receive an invitation to it depends, when you register to. So like for right now, like you will catch the replay. So you will have a replay link there, but also you have a link to register for the live webinar. The live webinar happens every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. So when you click that link, it will take you to a page that will have two buttons, one for Tuesdays and one for Thursdays. So you can register for either one or for both if you decide. In addition to that, we also invite you to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. Now, what are you going to be watching in the webinar? Well, you will see how our online business plan works, and also you get to see and hear from the panelists. They're going to be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. Okay, so let's see who were the hosts and panelists from last Thursday's live webinar.
Okay, so these are the hosts and panelists from last Thursday. Just a reminder that we have live webinars every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific time and 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to learn more about this business, you can register on the websites on the screen. So you can assist the live webinar, or if you don't have time, we can send you the replay so you can watch it at your own time. Our host for last Thursday was Tina. Tina is a retired business development manager. Kimberly is a government worker. Mary Ann is a former telecom employee. And Doreen is a sales associate and beauty consultant.
Yes, we also have Jania. She's a service manager. We have Crystal, a biomedical engineer. And we have Charlotte, a bookkeeper. And Peter, a pipeliner and civil construction. Uh, yeah. So as you see, all of them, they are from different walks of life, different professions, ages, and ethnicities, doing the business. Some of them, they're already doing the business full time, and some of them are doing the business on the side. Um, but they decided to take a leap of faith to change their life and their family lives. Now, for the replay has subtitles in any languages, and our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages: that's Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. All right, so let's dive into our topic for today. Kind of disappear when we it's a new feature of the stream, yeah, so we disappear. All right. So let's start with this. So let's be real. So some days are tough, but staying motivated is possible even when it's hard. So let's talk about how we keep going when the going gets rough. And this is talking about, like when we are doing our online business, it's not all the time, like roses, like nice, we have our ups and downs. So how are we gonna stay motivated, when we have those rough times? So that's the topic for today. So, how to stay motivated as an entrepreneur even on tough days. Okay. So, like we mentioned, hello again and welcome back to another global size episode of the Global Digital Success Talk. So, today we are getting real about something every entrepreneur experiences. Okay. So, those tough days when motivation feels out of reach, well, we all had them. Okay. So, this is normal. So, the days when the results don't come fast enough, that too, or when doubts start creeping in, I've been there too, or when life gets overwhelming, but the truth is, motivation isn't something we wait for, it's something that we create. Okay. So when we feel that we are not motivated, we got to find something to keep us motivated. And later on, on our topic today, we're going to say, what can we do to stay motivated? So we're not going to touch that right now, because otherwise we're going to go ahead of the topic. So today we're going to share, what drains our motivation. So what are the factors that make us, to be like that, and how we reignite our passions and simple habits that help us stay consistent even on hard days. So that's what we're going to be talking. So what are our points for today? Oh,
These are the points for today. Identify the motivation blockers, reconnect with your purpose, and use momentum builders.
yes. So we're going to be talking about that today. So let's start with the first point. Identify the motivation blockers. Okay, so let's start by acknowledging, what drain us. Okay, so what is it that it make us, not being motivated? So there's several factors along our journey that we encounter that creates that. So one is comparison on social media. And as a new business owner, when we start our journey, we want to see results fast, and that's one of the things that gets so into that comparison on social media, because we see others, and we try to compare to them, and pretend to be there, like in our pages. But the reality is that like all of us, like we are authentic, so you have to be authentic, you have to be you, you cannot be somebody else. And so comparing yourself with someone else, one, that's not you. And two, also it makes you, feel down in a way, because you see them, having results, but you got to understand they have been ahead of you. And that's the thing that sometimes we don't understand, because we want results fast. I think that's a human nature. You know, all of us want to see things fast, but that doesn't happen that way. So unrealistic expectations or timelines. So that's the second one, which is related to the first one too. You know, um, we want to see, and I've been there. Like when I started the business, I know that it was going to take some time, but according to my mind, I thought that that time was closer. But that wasn't the case. So I experienced, those unrealistic expectations, and that's when I learned my first lesson about patience. About patience, about business, and patience with myself. So that was one of my first lessons. The other one, lack of rest or burnout. So sometimes, because of the same reasons that we mentioned, we want to see things fast, we tend to burn out ourselves because we are doing a lot of stuff at the same time. But that doesn't work that way. Okay. It's like there is a saying, I don't know, maybe Isabel knows, because I love the sayings, but I'm very bad at it. But there is something about like Rome wasn't built in one day, I think it is.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah. So that's the other one. We tend to want to build everything. Like for example, we want to build Rome in one day, and that doesn't happen. It takes time to build it up. So that's why sometimes we get burnout, because we don't take rest, because we want to do things fast to see the result fast. Um, so we have learned that being aware of these triggers, help us pause and refocus. So the first thing that we have to make attention to this in order to identify is what is it that is not keeping us, motivated. So you gotta find out. So you gotta reflect, sit down, and write it down. Write it down. What is it that you're doing that is making you feel not motivated? And then once you found that, you gotta find solution. But we're gonna move into that later. So motivation fades when we feel overwhelmed, okay, or disconnected from our why. So another good example here is you got to remember your why when you're starting this journey. It's very important. I think it's one of the keys to be able to stay motivated. Remember, why are we doing this? So, um, question for you, the audience: have you ever felt unmotivated because of comparison or burnout? So let us know in the comments if it is more common than you think. What about you, Isabel? Do you uh, feel or did some of these things that we point out? Like the comparison, the unrealistic expectations.
Those are easy traps, easy traps to fall in, because when you're starting something and you see these people that's been doing it for a while and they're so good at it and they're supernatural, and you fall in that trap that you want to be them. You're like doing the things that they're doing, maybe saying some of the phrases, some of the things that they're saying, and you're trying to make your content as they are, but they're way ahead in the journey. So your story and their story is completely different. So I know when I first came and I was looking at some of the leaders and their social media content, I was like, oh, I want to do like what they're doing. But when I read their stories and the things that they were posting, I was like, but my stuff doesn't connect to that. Even though it looks so good, it's just not me. So yeah, but I wanted to. And it's easy to always think too about, why do they keep having all these good results? Why do they have all this and I don't have it? Well, for the simple fact that they've been doing it for longer. They already went through that learning curve. They already went through those obstacles. They already learned so many things that I'm sure at the beginning they didn't know. So we have to be patient, I think, and really focus on what we want, but at the same time work to get the things that we want. And that's where the unrealistic expectations come in. We want things and we want them today, but you know it's like anything else in life. Anything that you do takes its time. Nothing it's done in seconds. You don't get results right away, and we have to be very patient with us and the things that we're doing, and know that whatever we're doing, yes, we're planting a seed and we're going to harvest later. We're not going to harvest right away. So it all has its phases. Everything goes through different phases, and you have to wait to see those results, and just be patient with those expectations that you have. Don't, because I feel like when you have such high expectations, you're easily going to give up when you don't see them, because you think that everything is going to come fast, and you're not going to see it, and then you're going to get very disappointed, and then you're going to be like, well, I don't see anything. But we have to question ourselves, like, are we doing the things that we need to be doing? Are we following the training? Are we following the footsteps that our leaders has gone through, all the tips that they're giving us, so that we can do good too? So, and then of course, lack of rest and burnt out is another factor there too, that can easily get you down, because you feel like you're doing a lot, you're not seeing the results, and you feel like, okay, I'm doing all this, nothing's happening, and you feel the burned out, because a lot of times you really have to I don't know, take a walk in the park, take a walk in nature, go sit down under a tree with a journal and write down the things that you think are not working out, or the things that are working out, and where you want to go and how you're going to get there, because that's important. You have to know how you're going to get there. You just don't start doing something and expect for everything to start working out without putting the work in. So yeah, that's what I have to say for those three things. And I really think that anything is possible, but we have to be patient. We have to put in the work, and we have to be persistent overall.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So we have some emojis here from Itangishaka Elizabeth and Tonian U Digital. So thank you for watching
Thank
and thank you for
you.
your comment, your emojis. Sorry. Okay. So point number 2.
Okay, so for point number two, reconnect with your purpose. We have to reconnect. What was your purpose? When motivation dips, we go back to the core of why we started. We all have a different why. We all have a strong why. There's a reason why you started this journey. And we can always go back to that when we're like feeling down, where we're doubting ourselves, when we feel like we're about to give up. Always go back to that day when you decided to do this. Why was there? What was your reason? And then that's going to keep you, it's going to fuel you up to keep going again. So who are we doing this for? Who are you doing it for? You always have to think about that. I started doing this because I wanted more time with my family. I wanted more time with my kids. I wanted quality time with them because I had left them for so long, so I could go out to work every day, and I had those long hours away from them, and my kids grew up on me. It feels like overnight. So I know that I'm doing this for them. And then what kind of freedom or impact are we working towards? What is it that you want? What do you want for you, and what do you want for your family? Is it more time with them? Is it time to travel? Time to be there with them when they wake up and maybe fix breakfast for them. Maybe time so you can go to their school events, time to take them to school, to be there to pick them up. And so you have to think about what kind of freedom do you want, and or the impact that you're working towards. Always think about that. And how far have we already come? Sometimes we feel like we don't have the results because we don't see the freedom that we want, that we planned. When we started this business, I'm sure that we all had our why, but we also saw the end. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this because of my family, but this is what I want. This is the result that I want to see. And sometimes we feel like we're so far away from it. But if you go back to the time where you started and where you are, you're going to see all the things that you have achieved so far. And those are small, small things that you have done, but they're getting you closer to the end goal, and they have changed your life in so many ways. So don't be too hard on yourself, and always think about the things that you have accomplished and the difference that it has made in you, the impact that it has made on you, on your family, on your the things that you're doing. The time that you have. Maybe now you have more flexibility. Maybe now you have a less stressful day. So always think about those things. Sometimes just reflecting on the people we have helped or goals that we have hit, even the small ones, can reignite the fire. So don't ever forget that everything that you're doing counts. Every little step is getting you closer. Don't give up and keep going every day with all you have. And be passionate about the things that you're doing, because that's another thing. When you love the things that you do, it doesn't really feel like you're working. It's just that passion, and it makes you happy. It makes you truly happy to wake up every day and keep going with what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, like, yeah, the why is one of the things that, like, when I fell down, like, I remember, okay, so why am I doing this? You gotta keep fighting. Um, like, for example, I don't want to go back to those 12 hours or working until 67, those long hours. I want to be present for my parents, because I'm the only one here in Canada. So right now, they're independent, but eventually I will have to take care of them. So those are my why, to spend time with my family, to with my parents, with my Asian parents. Also, be able to retire early, but that have that financial independence. So and help others. Like, that's the other one. Like, the second question, what kind of freedom or impact are we working towards? And I think that's for everyone in the community, um, be able to help others, achieve also their whys. We all have similar whys in a way, but also different in another ways, depending on everyone's situation is different. um, but yeah, being able to help them, being able to see, um, like, this business has a purpose, you know and that's what I love about that, because in my industry, I love my industry. It was my dream, but it got to a point where I didn't see myself growing anymore, so I wanted to find a purpose in life, something that, what I do will have a meaning, and this business provide that purpose, be able to help others, achieve, and being able to see them, how they transform, when they got to the beginning, and how they transform, like, even see myself, when I came to this business, I didn't know what to expect from the online business. um, I wanted to do it, but I didn't know what was required of it. So once I started to go into the training, I started learning all these things. We have grown up from who we were when we started. A lot of knowledge we have acquired. We have grown as a person. And self development and all that. Our mindset. That's another one. Um, so many of us, when we start this business, sometimes we come with an employee mindset, and we have to shift that employee mindset into an entrepreneurial mindset. Um, so that sometimes is kind of hard, because um, you're so conditioned, to work as an employee, that for you to shift into an entrepreneurial is kind of hard, but it is feasible, and that's why, these um, the training, that we have, the Zoom meetings that we have with the community, it really helps to shift that. How far we have already come, yeah, that's something that sometimes we neglect, that we don't see, we don't appreciate, how far we have come, from when we started to where we are right now. But when we realize that, and we look back, oh my god, like, how much I've grown. Like, I see my videos, for example, just an example, when we started to do lives. I see, how green I was at the beginning. Now that I'm moving my videos, I see, oh my god, like, I see my videos at the beginning. So and even, like, I still see the changes from last year when we started in January, which, like, I saw my videos, like, the year before, like, back in 2023, and then I saw the lives from last year, and I still see, change from now, from, for example, like, this year to compared to last year. And that's how you grow. So when you see those, like, how far we have already come, that really help you to keep motivated, because you can see the changes through you throughout the years. So all you have done, all the past that you have, um uh, I don't know how to say that word, but you have passed, along these years, these 2 years for me. um, like, you can see how um, how many changes you have, and the things, the wins. the small wins, because we need to celebrate the small wins. It's very important. That's another thing that will keep you motivated, along the way. Being able to accomplish, I wasn't one that I didn't like to be in front of the camera. So be able to accomplish that, to be in front of the camera, getting out of my comfort zone, that's an accomplishment. So I should feel proud of it, of doing it. And there's so many things that, like I didn't know how to run publicity, media, like ads, anything about that. And I learned that in this business. So being able to acquire that knowledge, and I'm still learning, it's amazing. So that's how it shows how far we already come, and we keep growing as we go, because we never stop learning, because of the technology and all the things that are going there. So that's another thing that, I love, because, learning is essential to for yourself, to keep growing as a person. So, for the last one that, Isabel mentioned, reflecting on the people we have helped, and the goals we have here, even the small ones can bring night of fire, and that's totally true. Because we can reflect that, what we have done so far is not in vain. There's so much positive things that we have come out of it, and even learning from, being able to, how would I say that, if for the setbacks, being able to bounce back from setbacks.
To
uh,
overcome. Yeah.
yeah, like for example, when, I mentioned in other lives, like I was I thought that, I had a strong mindset, but, like I didn't, because, when I encountered my first setback, I fall into the victim, problem mindset. um but because, the someone in the community, I was that helped me, because, um she kind of like, understood, because she was ahead of me, she was in the business for longer than me. She helped me, to bounce back. So learning and reflecting on those things, how I shift my mindset on seeing things different, really helps, to keep you motivated and keep push you forward, you know. Okay, so what are the pro tip, that what we have learned from this?
Okay, so pro tips is keep a white wall or a journal with photos, quotes, and messages that remind you of your purpose. This is very powerful, because if you keep this, to remind you of your purpose, you're always going to be focused on really what is it that you want, and you're going to work towards that every day. So this is something, a good message for you guys. And don't forget, progress, not perfection. Small steps every day matter, not that big leap once in a while. So, that's what I was talking about at the beginning. It's like small steps. A lot of times we feel like we're not really doing much, we're not achieving much, but every small step is getting you closer. So don't give up. You're making a difference, and you're going to see your goals achieved, but you have to stay consistent.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's one of the things that we think sometimes, like, oh, it has to be perfect, but, like, that's one of the things that I learned in this business, because, like, forget about perfection. You gotta keep moving. Try. It didn't work out, you do another one. So it's not about perfection, it's about progress. If you still waiting for perfection, you're gonna keep waiting, and you're gonna get stuck. Okay, so, don't go for the perfection. Just keep trying, until you get it, where you want to go. But that will keep you move you forward instead of staying in the same place.
Yeah. And a lot of times we use that as an excuse, like, oh, I did it, but it's not perfect. So I'm just going to wait till I have time to do another one.
Mhm.
But it's not really about being perfect. And sometimes the things that you don't think that are that good are the really things that are going to work out for you. So you never know.
Yeah, that is true, and we have seen that in one of the, business owners in our community. Same thing, like he tried to do a perfect, ad, That didn't connect it with people. And when he didn't do it like a rough, not perfect, not nothing, just like that, he connected with the people. So yeah, so don't wait for perfection. Okay, so what is point 3?
Okay. Point number 3 is use momentum builders. So here are a few things we can do to stay on track when motivation is low. Listen to inspiring podcasts and audiobooks. And really, at the beginning, when we started this business, they always tell us about this. Like, you got to stay connected. You really have to watch what you're spending your time in. It's it things that are adding value or things that are wasting your time. So you have to pay attention. And I remember when I first started, they always talk about listening to podcasts or reading books or listening to audiobooks. And I was like, yeah, I'll get to it. But it really does give you motivation when you do this every day. When you wake up in the morning, and after you do your prayers in the morning, whatever, and then you right away you start listening to podcasts like motivation podcasts, it makes a difference in your day, because all day you're going to be charged with that positive energy, and you're going to be thinking positive, and you're going to be connecting to your purpose instead of having that victim mentality and feeling sorry for yourself. So, and then the other one is set mini goals to create quick wins. And we always talk about, don't really focus on the big goal. Always have small goals, uh, maybe weekly goals, monthly goals, whatever it is that you need, so that you can stay focused, and then you can see the wins that you're doing every day, instead of really thinking about the big goal and seeing it so far. It's just, sometimes it feels like it's something impossible when you look at it that way, but when you break it out into small ones, you can really see the wins that you're doing. And then lean into our community for encouragement. And that's a big one too, because our community, we have a large community, and all our members are always there, cheering us on, motivating us, and helping us in every way possible. So lean on them so that you can stay encouraged. And the last one is take breaks. Rest is productive too. A lot of times, like, we feel so tired. Life is life, and we have personal stuff going on, we have family stuff going on, we have, who knows, maybe we got sick, maybe we're tired. Take a good rest, and then that way you're gonna get that fuel to come back even stronger and more motivated.
Okay, so you wanna go, Jessie, or
Hi everyone. Oh, sorry, I was a little bit late for the live today. But anyways, to people that don't know me, my name is Yesenia. I'm a nurse by professional. I live in Ontario, Canada. And I'm also a pro digital business owner. And we're here talking today. And yes, I think that building momentum is important, on the business sides, as well, on your day-to-day life, because sometimes we can get discouraged, because something happened, or maybe our mood, or and that's normal. That's part of the human being, like we all have highs and lows. But if you to keep it going, you have to motivate yourself. You have to do small things to keep it going. And Isa was saying good things here that we have on the screen. Like find a good book, or like if you like a good music. Like sometimes that keep you motivated too. And like, as I think we have talked about this before, small goals always celebrated. Sometimes you think that they are not important, or oh, wait, if you just celebrate the small goals, a little by little, you build the big one. So it's just telling it just to remind you, it helps to remind you you're doing good, you are in the right track. So a small goals or small wins, they're always good to celebrate up, because they keep you motivated, because now you can do more than whatever you were doing last week. And yes, it's important, take breaks. Not just to take breaks for like when you're at work, that you take like 30 minutes break just to get away from the space, or just to be on your phone. Take breaks from what you're doing. So because if you keep doing something so continuously, you get bored. You don't like that anymore. You're not motivated, you don't feel inspired, because like it's something that's, it's I know everything. You feel like you know everything, even if you don't know, because it's something that just like all the time, you're seeing or you're doing. So take a small breaks, like always, like go for a walk, dance, read a nice book, do something different for whatever the task you're doing. And in this case, we're talking about the online space. We all get a little bit discouraged because we think that we have to be on the computer in front of the phone all the time, checking, being online, the internet, whatever. So, but that's the amazing thing. Like you can do this as well when you're walking your dog. You're taking that break as well from sitting down or doing something like that, because your health is important, and your mental health as well.
Yes. No, I totally agree with the points that you guys touch. So, for example, listen to inspiring podcasts and audiobooks. And I think this is important. For example, I do this when I'm working on another stuff. I listen to audiobooks at the same time, or something, motivational. And these also help you with your mindset, because you gotta keep building your mindset all the time, because that's gonna help you, to be motivated and resilient, for any setbacks. So listen to inspiring podcasts and audiobooks. You can listen to them while you're doing other activities. So that really helps. Setting mini goals to create quick wins. So one of the things that they have recommended is, like, you do like you set up goals for the day, you set up goals for the week, and you can set up goals for the month and for the entire year. But these goals also are not like set in stone. Okay, you have to modify as you go, because some things, might change, so you do modification as you go. There might be like a goal that you achieved it before you were planning to, so then you have to modify your goals. So your goals are like a guidance, but at the same time they can be modified, depending, how what have you accomplished, or what you didn't accomplish, that it has to be pushed to the next goal that you have for the following week or the following month. you know so lean into our community for encouragement. And yes, this is essential. I mean, I share it in many lives, like two of the occasions where, thanks to the community, I was able to bounce back, uh, because I was feeling down at the moment, and I was new to the business, so I didn't understand. And people who were able to help me is because they were ahead of me, so they understood where I was coming from. So they helped me to bounce back. So that's why you want to lean into the community, because if you have that support, take advantage of that, because that's how you're going to be able to grow and to be able to bounce back. Like, for example, like if you encounter something like me, you're going to be able to bounce back and keep continue your journey. Take breaks and rest is productive too. Yes, I totally agree with both of you. And you mentioned one thing important, Jesse, about the mental health. It's very important, because we also sometimes neglect the mental health, and we have to take care of the mental health. So one of the things that they recommend is taking, like 5 minutes break, for example, when you're working. That will help you to be more focused when you come back on the tasks that you're doing. And another thing that I listened recently was, um, take breaks or rest, like doing something different. Like, for example, uh, go out in a hike or something. When you do things different, that it will inspire, like, for example, I love social dance. I haven't been doing it, but I should be doing it. Hopefully, when the weather gets better, I'll start going back. But doing things like that will help you mentally, will help you physically, because you're doing a physical activity, but also it will help you with your creativity. Believe it or not, when you're doing an activity that is totally different to what you're doing all the time, it will help you with your creativity. Many times when you're outside, you can see something. Oh, look, I can do this, or I can utilize this, in my post or something like that. Or can create, like a video out of this. So take advantage of taking a break, and also, to enhance your creativity, because you're gonna see something different. It's like, I'll give you an example. Is, for example, if you're working on a problem that it's like with numbers. Okay, let's just give you an example with numbers, and there is a mistake in that problem, but because you've been looking to that for so long, you cannot really see it. So what do? You take a break, 5 minutes break, and you look for something different. When you come back and you look at and you find it, because your eyes and your mind, was taken away from that. So when you come back, you're able to see it. It's the same thing, like, for example, we were working in our funnels. I didn't see a mistake because I was so focused on watching and being working on that. But somebody else found a mistake, and then the same thing, like, Jesse was working on something, and then we see something. But it's because, another set of eyes also is good to have sometimes, because to check your work, because we spend so much time on it that we don't see it anymore. So yeah, so those things, it's good to take a break and rest. Okay, so Jesse.
Okay, to our audience, what what is your go-to strategy to get out of the slump? Share it. We all want to learn from each other.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
Yes. And what is the takeaway, Isabel?
Takeaway: stay rooted in your why, lean on your community, and keep taking action. Your why is the motor, is what's going to keep you going. So always keep that in mind.
Yeah. Okay, so saying that, we hope so that, like, this topic, this is kind of like, sharing more on the inside of a online business owner journey, like what we experience as a business owner journey. So we hope so that it will enlighten you. So when you take that decision to take your leap of faith, you know what to expect, and you're ready, and you can overcome those obstacles. Now learning from our experience, because that's what we, like, you gotta, when you watch something, you gotta learn from other people's experience, so you don't do the same mistakes. Okay, so you know what to do. So that's what we're sharing with you, so you have an idea of what to expect, and how to avoid those things by doing the tips that we just provided you, to keep on track to your journey, to success, to your goal, to reach your why. Okay. So we hope so that you like the all the tips and all the experiences that we share with you. If you have something that you want to share with us or with the community, put it in the comments and let us know. We'll be happy to read it. And if you want to learn more about the business that we are doing, you can register in any of the websites that appear on the screen, or you can send us a message also, and then we will be happy to answer your questions. So when you register into our website, because we have a live webinar every Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's a free webinar, so you can go and register into our website, and you can get to hear, how our online business plan works, and you get to hear from testimonials from members of our community who will be sharing why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So you got an opportunity to hear from them, and you got an opportunity to learn more about how our online business plan works. So take advantage of that. It's a free info session, so you got nothing to lose, more to gain. In addition to that, we also invite you to our private Facebook group, where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. And again, more things, to find out about the business that we are doing. So we are giving you the opportunity, go inside, browse the whole group, ask questions, watch the content that we have there so you can have a better understanding. So really it's free, you got nothing to lose, just more to gain. So you can learn about the business. Now, when you register, you receive an email with the link for the replay. In this case, will be a replay because our live webinar is every Tuesday, so there will be one tomorrow. And you get also link to register for our live webinars, which will take you to a page that will have two buttons, one for Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you can register for either one or for both, and the invitation to our private Facebook group. Okay, so let's see who were the hosts and panelists for our past Thursday live webinar.
Okay, so here is our host and panelist from last Thursday live webinar. Our host was Tina. She is a retired business development manager. We also had Kimberly. She's a government worker. Mary Ann, she's a former telecom employee. And Doreen is a sales associate and beauty consultant.
We also have Jania. She is a service manager. Crystal, she's a biomedical engineer. Charlotte is a bookkeeper. And Peter is a pipeliner, civil construction. So all these people were on a live webinar last Thursday, March 20, 5 p.m. PDT, 8 p.m. EST. So if you want to have a registration of the link for the new webinar that is next Tuesday or say tomorrow, so just register with your name and email and you will get access to our live webinar.
Yes, and our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages. That's Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. And our replays has subtitles in any languages. So there you go. So you know what to do. So if you want to learn how you can start your online business, just register in any of the websites that appear on the screen, and we'll be happy to send you that link to watch the replay or the live, depending, when you register. So now I want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live today with us. For those catching the replay, thank you so much too. And to our followers, we want to say thank you for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. So for those who doesn't follow us, you can follow us up here on the top to get to know us, who we are, what type of content we post, and more information about the business. And we have two more emojis here, one from Hype Krister and from Silas Jancy. So thank you for watching and thank you for your emojis. Okay, so let's find out what is the topic for. Oh, I just saw a mistake. Sorry. It says Sunday, but it's actually Monday. Sorry about that. It's what is our next Monday topic?
Attraction marketing 101. How to draw the right people to your business. Interesting. So if you want to know a little bit more, you want to know what attraction even mean and what right people mean, just get on live, get the notification, and join us on next Monday on a live webinar. Oh, sorry, live webinar, no. On a live in our pages. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, so thank you again for joining us on the Global Digital Success Talk. And remember, tough days are part of the journey, but they don't define the outcome. Okay, so stay rooted in your why, lean on your community, and keep taking action. So until then, stay focused, stay fired up, and keep moving forward, one day at a time. So see you next time for the next episode of the
Global Success Talk.
Talk. Thank you, everyone, and happy and blessed Monday to everyone. And for those who are on Tuesday, happy and blessed Tuesday for you, and happy and blessed week ahead for everyone. Thank you for watching.
Thank you,
Bye. Thank
guys.
you for watching.